Some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Throwing to start the drive. Addison. He's got this downfield to McBride. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A huge play there right off the bat. 48 yards.
And this is one of the toughest parts about being a defensive back. When a play breaks down like this, you're taught to plaster to a receiver. Find the nearest one and adhere yourself to it. But you can only stay with the receiver so long if the play continues to develop. He knows where he's going. You do not.
On first down, it's Benson. And they can't bring him down. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. He covered a lot of ground, great blocking, and now they can sniff that end zone.
They certainly can, and because of that run, maybe you come back and fake it to him on this play and throw a little play action. Someone should break wide open.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. First and goal. Benson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game, and they practice it. They have their script and the plays they want to open with. But defenses aren't just reactive. They have their own ideas as well. These ideas didn't get implemented very well. 3 plays and a touchdown already scored against them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. A first carry now. This is Williams. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
2nd and 2. He finds his man complete. That's Perez. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
Now he's going to step up and run. He finds his man complete. It's Perez. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. That's a great example right there to remind everyone of what a weapon he can be as a mobile quarterback, Charles. Nice play to escape the pocket and get his offense into the red zone with a first down.
And defensive coaches losing their mind on that play because they knew about his mobility coming in, and they preached all week long. If he gets outside the pocket, find receivers in your area and cover them. Otherwise, plays like that will continue to result.
No, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Second and 10.
Let's go. Hurt.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll do a nice job here just to find his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Here's third and 10. Operating from the gun, Robertson. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean. He's on his way. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And now a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Looking to throw. Robertson. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Back to throw. Robertson. Under pressure now. He's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. And his kick is indeed good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on fourth and goal anyway, but the sack on third down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. The Cardinals hit 2 and 3 here to begin the new season. And they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So, you know, they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Now a second and 10.
Ready!
A give up the middle with Benson. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse me. Snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on fourth.
Cardinals.
Operating from the gun. Addison. He'll try to do it himself. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
26-yard line.
So the drive stays alive after the fourth down conversion. First and 10 inside the 30. Running out of the gun here with Benson. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Trey Benson, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to
14. Buccaneers 6.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
They're on 35-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And some room to work. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Off-play action. Robertson. Man in the middle, and it's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. A big pickup of 38. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Williams. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go.
Williams. We'll get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. Now a 3rd and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. Irving. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And his kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
38-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself, you don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Go street. Crack all 80.
67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Card's going to call another timeout, their 2nd. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Here we go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now he's into the clear again. Touchdown, Cardinals. Trey Benson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to extend their lead. The Cardinal offense not going anywhere. They'll stay out and go for 2.
The Cardinals will line up for the
Panther
2-point
60.
conversion.
Panther 60. Warrior 70. Let's go.
They'll try and throw for it. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points. The Cardinals all set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
They'll look to throw now on first down. It's caught outright by Graham. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Cardinals' 48-yard line.
Looking to throw. Robertson. Open man is the rookie from Auburn. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 25-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. Now they'll change things around before the snap. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
First down, Buccaneers.
Operating from the gun, Robertson. This will be caught at about the 6. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They'll run it with Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. Back to throw. Robertson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Bucs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Operating from the gun, Robertson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. They get this out quickly to the left side. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And this Cardinal defense comes up with a goal line stand. to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time I look and repeat that in Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Going right back to Wilson. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And he rifles one incomplete.
Ready with I should practice out the head, boy, because I got all the heads, boy. All that drink you got to chill. I be on my little mouse drill.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. Deep to return is Darius Davis. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over.
At the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Robertson. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Zone touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bucs have cut it back within a score. Aubrey good with a PAT. And the lead will shrink to 6. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Sheds off the tackle. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
career is more at stake when you win your prime. That paper, baby, my face on the dotted line. I've been flying out of town for some peace of mind.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 8. Off play action. Addison. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he goes out right around the 39. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Get some 9 yards and a first.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No! Ready? 60 Bison, 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Trap 60, trap 60. Street, street.
A give left side for Benson. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Ready?
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Addison. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Got it. Ready? Here we go. Shot.
Back to throw now on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
19 tight. 19. Come on, come on.
They'll look to throw again. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down.
Panther 60. Warrior 70. Go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term, complementary football. because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Slot man moves right. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
First down pass. Intercepted. The Cardinals take over first and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Let's go now. Hawk 70. Hawk 70.
Now it's Benson. Brought down on the play by Trenton Simpson. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
At the 34-yard line.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Buffalo 18. 2.
Operating from the gun, Addison. This is taken in by McBride. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 23 yards the pickup there. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
This is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Trey Benson on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Cardinals will extend their lead here just before halftime. The Cardinal offense not going anywhere. They'll stay out and go for 2.
The Cardinals will line up for the two-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw. Robertson. He finds McCoy. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before break. Robertson got his man complete over the middle. It's McCoy. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So this a 2-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the 3rd quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Garrett Williams. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Intercepted. The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They run over center with Benson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
Ready up! Trap alert! Trap alert!
On 1st down, right back to Benson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That good for 19 on a 1st down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Hawk 70. Here we go.
They'll run with Benson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
2nd and 6. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Touchdown. Trey Benson from 6 yards away. And the Cardinals have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So in the Cardinal territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Operating from the gun, Robinson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Now he's going to step up and run. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He finds his man complete. It's McCoy. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Phoenix, Arizona is the spot. Glad to have you along for the ride. 3rd quarter action and a 2nd and 10 upcoming. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And the Buccaneers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams.
Let's go now. Ready?
Operating from the gun, Robinson. No gain on the play. And now what we have here, a 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Robertson. And it's caught. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is going to be recovered by a member of the offense, but whistles come in. Remember, on 4th down, that becomes a dead ball if anyone other than the fumbler himself recovers. So it'll come back to the spot of the fumble, and that will mean that's going to wind up being a turnover on downs. They'll start on the ground with Benson. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Addison. Over the middle, complete. It's Wilson. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Here we go. Here we go.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Let's go. Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Addison. Open man here is Benson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Touchdown, Cardinals! Trey Benson, 49 yards. And the Cards will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The Cardinals setting out to kick this one away, and off we go. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive, because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
He finds his man, complete. It's Fox. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. First down in the red zone. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Off the play fake. Robertson. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice, long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And this is going to be intercepted.